Chesterfield Railway basket weaving classes.
Yes. Making trees.
Making trees.
We're branching out.
Branching out.
So right, so you need another join in that one.
Right.
So yeah.
So we got another. Right. So
This
like
is-
that, for example,
Yeah.
now. Right. I get you. So I,
This
need
is florist wire. Yeah.
so I need another piece of wire.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, just
Right.
there, have that.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, another piece of wire.
Okay.
I'll give you another one.
So we put another V in there. Just make sure.
And here's one we did before. That's what we're aiming for, and that's the sort of outline plan of the tree shape. And these trees are going to be half relief trees against the back scene, which is like the ones we finished over on the other layout there. So that's what we're aiming for.
I
Anyway.
get you. It's yeah, I can see where it's coming to now. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And started to
and
look, and you do another one. So I need another one.
Just carry on.
These are half relief, so should we be?
Well,
Trying to
some
keep
of
flat,
the well,
like.
some of the I wouldn't worry too much about that, but you can bend them afterwards. You see, so I've got that one there, and you just sort of shape it afterwards. The wire is quite flexible, so you don't need to make it too flat. Let it come out
Okay.
a little bit in the other direction.
And then I suppose then you just once you get that, then you just put another one. I presume.
Yeah,
put another one
and
on
what
the
you do
ends.
is so you get a branch like that, you put
Yeah.
a V shape in there,
Yeah, and you do exactly.
and then you twist those two together, and that forms your next part of the tree. And just the twisting locks them together and gets you a nice rigid structure.
So something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's not too critical, but it's yeah. So that one, for me, is you've got it more flat than perhaps it needs to be. So you
So
could
just-
have quite a few of these coming forward.
So,
So choose a couple
Yeah.
like that one, say, and
Yeah.
say, no, that one's coming this way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Because that is going to be the main thing, and so eventually we're going to have to do the ones that come up off the page as well. Right, off you go. So just slice yourself some little slivers of clay,
Oh, so
and meanwhile I'll sort of just start shaping this. I'm going to leave a little bit of wire projecting at the bottom because that will go into the baseboard eventually, but this is my main trunk, and just shape that roughly up there. And if you just carry on carving off what you need. And I'm just working my way up the trunk, squeezing the clay into the wire, so the clay is getting thoroughly bonded into the wire. And I'm tapering the branches as I go, so they should be getting thinner and thinner and thinner as I go up.
Oh, so you sort of working.
I'm working the clay up as I go, and it's starting with a big thick chunk.
Oh,
and
so
I'm-
you're using
I'm
some of
pushing
this clay. You're
I'm
not.
pushing it up.
you
Yeah, I'm
put-
pushing
right.
it up. Yeah, yeah. And if
You're
it's
not-
too much, just cut a bit off.
Oh, you're sort of like right. Okay, and then you. Right. Okay. So you're not using all this blob of clay. You just sort of just.
That's your reservoir of clay, and then
Right.
you're working on pushing that up into the frame until it's covering most of the big trunks. So by the time I get up to here, look, I'm getting quite a lot thinner.
So you're right. Okay. So
Right.
I'm probably too much excess here, but really it's just.
Yeah, it's just a big old oak tree we've got.
Right. Okay.
And then at some stage I might need some more clay, so
Right.
I'll go
Okay.
back and get some. So even I've left quite a bit that's not covered in clay, because I might want to bend that later, and if once you put the clay on it, it's going to be rigid. So any that I think I might shape a bit, I'll leave with no clay on.
I think it's more a case of do little bits where you know.
Yeah.
And then just sort of.
Yeah, you're probably going out too far in the detail there, because you don't need to put the clay that far out, but you can. It's just a matter of the main stand. Right. So are you happy with your?
Mine reminds me of something out of the film Alien.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah, that morph.
Yeah.
Now, once you've
Hang on. Oh. Sedum, is it?
sedum, yeah, and this is the dried flower head, which has just been picked today. This is last year's flowers, and you know, these are still there in the garden. And then you have to take off all the seed heads before you start using it. So you just a bit messy, but we just flick them off and get rid of them. And eventually, then we'll have all this fine branch structure, which is just what we need for the next phase of the tree making. You end up with masses of this.
Have you got one I can sort of
Yeah,
have
just
a go
grab
at?
one. Yeah, just grab any one you like.
Yeah, here we go.
So you're removing all of that, really. So.
I'm getting rid of all the seed pods off the end,
Oh, we'll try this one.
but I'm trying not to take off the fine foliage which is next connected to the seed pods, so that I'm leaving behind the little fine twiglets, as it were, that's going to be the tree.
Okay.
So you're just going to be a bit gentle there. And then this isn't very strong, but we're going to strengthen it with the glue and paints and varnishes we put on it. So actually, although it's quite delicate, it will end up being quite a robust tree when you're finished with it. I mean, I tend to use my nail and just stroke towards the end, you know, against my fingers. But you just carry on. If you're doing it too aggressively, you'll just pull off a lot of the little branches, that's all. A little bit of the next detail, which is taking the dried sedum heads and sticking the ends onto the ends of your branches.
Put that one right down outside, because I broke that one, but at least I can put just like that. Hopefully that should. I don't feel that's going to. Not very. Not doing very well. So you put some in there as well. Then is it because you look like you're pouring yours actually?
I've put a few in the stem.
Yes,
But most of them are, I mean, I'd put more on the ends here, coming out of the different directions, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
But this is.
And we're going to save that stuff for leaf matter and things
Well,
on
yeah.
the ground. That's quite good, that.
Well, just put it on the floor first, and then.
Yep, just spotted a gap. Just spotted a gap.
That's tree action.
It's
there.
got the hand.
Yes. Not hugely brilliant, but it's a first-time effort.
That's how it's supposed to look. And this is how Scott's looks. And this is how mine looks.
Pretty good.
Wrong colour, but we'll get to that, I think.
Oh, God, that smells lovely.
And you know, get a bit of brown, and then a bit of grey, and
Oh, I get you. So
yeah, and you end up with this, you know, blend of colour.
How are you doing, Scott?
Yeah, it's very therapeutic actually. I enjoy doing this.
It does look quite realistic, actually, with having the grey in it rather than just the brown.
Yeah, sort of mixing. I feel like with those artists, you know, where you take palettes and just mix in the features, you know.
A light misting, several light mistings, I think, is better than one big heavy coat. So we'll give it a bit of a. I've got the right one here. I'm going to texture brown. Doesn't look very brown yet. That's all. Yeah, it's there. I think that's probably enough for the first coat. So
Yes.
now is probably a good time to cut that off, if we've got some clippers. I think that's enough.
So Scott is declumping some woodland scenic clump foliage.
Into small little
Yeah.
bits.
Too quickly, it's just
Okay.
that this stuff tends to... Right, I'm going to give this a really good spray because the seems the faster you spray it,
Okay.
the finer it comes. Right. Oh, no, I don't like that.
Oh, sorry.
Get it on fast. Let's get it on fast.
Let's
Tap- Yeah, that's it. Tap it on.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Right, yeah, tap it on. So if we put that somewhere to dry, we'd have to recycle all our greenery.
Do we need to make some more? Because that's going to be...
Well-
since you've used quite a bit there.
Yeah, well, let's take the loose stuff back into there. Anything that's probably a little bit further away. Yeah, keep going. And work your way around it. Well, I'll turn it around. Keep going, a lot more than that. We need more. Till it's covered in white. Yeah, keep going.
This is
Right.
the spray and dunk method.
Yes, it
Oh,
is.
it's starting to work.
I think that's a good technique. That I think you've.
That is
I
starting
think
to
you've
work,
cracked
that,
it.
yeah.
I think you've cracked it.
Like as if you... Yeah, look.
Well
Yeah.
done, that man.
Oh, that's nice.
Well done, that
That's
man.
my
That is-
tree
that
now.
is-
That's a probably better... Rather...
there you
Yeah,
are. Right,
I think
that's definitely better. Definitely better. I
Yeah.
agree with that. No bother.
Oops, sorry. Wow.
Hold us that can up to the camera, see what it is. It is. Where is it?
Oh, stick it.
Thank you, Scott.
Okay.
So
And
this
this
one's
is-
Scots, and it looks a little bit African. Deliberately so.
Well, I don't know. I didn't plan to have an African theme, but
Oh,
it
okay.
seems so, you know.
And this is mine, which is a bit small now next to others. And then that is Malcolm's, the teacher's. So this is what it should look like.
Well,